Yep. Another rainy day. I'm getting sick of this rain.
Me
we
too.
get more rain in the
Man,
freaking
it's so
winter
good.
time than
Yes.
the
Yeah.
summertime. I
know.
swear. It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid.
Alrighty. Hey.
Hello.
Wonderful. Alrighty. Wonderful. And we're going to just keep it playing through the computer. For whatever reason, dude, I don't know what it is, but Facebook hates us on my personal page.
Really?
Yes. Every time that we've been going live on the Watchmen, my personal page, shut down. It's crazy.
So then, what about on the radio side, radio page?
Oh, definitely not. We have more leniency on the radio page. That's crazy too. You figured we would have a little bit more stricter. Boy, your lighting is awesome.
Really?
Yeah, I may have to. Man, that's nuts.
Was it perfect?
Your freaking camera is off the chain. Of course, I'm using a computer screen. Yeah, well, that's fine. It's better. I mean, yours is good.
Yeah.
I'm just worried about mine. Come back a little bit.
You ever been to Zones much?
To zones?
Yeah, over there by the coffee shop.
A little bit.
You ever eat there?
Yes. No, not to zones. That's the pizza place, right?
Yeah, you're talking about Tap House.
Yeah, Tap House. And we're live. Welcome, everybody, to the Watchmen Experience. I hope everybody's having a great Sunday. It's rainy here in Roanoke, Virginia. We are glad that you're here. This is a podcast for men by men. This is the Joe Rogan Experience for the Christians, and I say that only so I can give him his props, because I don't want to be like, this is the Watchmen Experience, and then somebody's like, you copied Joe Rogan. I sure did. We sure did. We're not even going to hide from it, but we want to give him his props because that's the inspiration that we've got. So welcome to the Watchmen Experience. Tommy, what's happening with you, man?
Oh, not much. I've unloaded probably a lot of the information earlier on, but
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
Good to hear your opinion of everything, too.
Well, we were talking about work practices and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, work practices is something that's different, not just from company to company, from generation to generation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's really a different work ethic nowadays.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I was so mad the other week. Like, I was livid the other week. I'm working at the mall, right?
Yeah.
And they be snitches all the time at the mall. I see, it's like all they care about is trying to hem me up. Like, I got a parking ticket last night.
Really?
Yeah. I was parked in a handicap spot. Should I have gotten a parking ticket? Yes. Do I know why I got a parking ticket? Yes. Because there are people there that do not like me because I speak my mind, and I may get them in trouble. And they're like in rank, they would be considered over top of me, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But I can't help if you don't do your job. That ain't my fault, is it? No, that's definitely not my fault. You know. So I got a parking ticket. Hadn't got one in 3 years, and this all of a sudden here lately I've been, this one person, man. So we're shorthanded, right, at the mall. And so instead of just being a prick about my job, I wanted to be a good helping hand. Give you some backstory, right? So I wanted to be a good helping hand. I wanted to help my boss out because she's working all these hours. I'm like, hey, let me help out a little bit. Let me do a little more. And so what I was doing was I was going in and doing my floors, but I also was taking out trash, doing some floor maintenance, not floor scrubbing, floor maintenance. There's a difference. One's following the people around, cleaning up after them. The other one's waiting till the stores close and then cleaning. Okay, floor maintenance is following people around, sweeping, making sure all the little trash is up. So anyways, I started doing that for her, right? And this went on for in the first end of October, first part of November, right? Well, I'm good at what I do. It don't matter what you ask me to do, I'm gonna excel at it. And that ain't a brag for me. That's a brag for the Lord. But I mean, I'm blessed that way. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry for that. So I go in there and cleaning the floors. I become really efficient. I'm starting to help them out. But they see that I'm efficient. Even the other employees, right? Other employees see my efficiency. Here's what pissed me off. I started going in there at the end of November. People stop doing their regular jobs during the day. So I'd come in and nobody had taken the trash out, maybe for a day or two. There'd be spills all over the floor. Security would call me and be like, hey, there's spills over here. And so I'm helping them. I ain't saying, hey, you.
It ain't a takeover.
No, it ain't. I mean, I got to do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? So eventually, come mid-December, I quit doing it. I stopped. In the December. Let me put that in the December. I stopped doing it. It didn't take them too long to realize that what was going on because they asked me about it. So I was like, well, dang, ain't nobody in here doing their job. I'm the only one doing it. I'm doing everybody's job now. I said, everybody done got lazy. I said, everybody done got, because I come in and I do my job. And so people come in and got lazy. So the security side of things, the one of them that don't really particularly like me anyway, right? The one I'm getting ready to talk about. So part of what I was doing was when I'm on my little Zamboni, I don't turn the machine on or anything like that, but I'll take my dust mop and I'll use it to kind of dust mop the mall. It's pretty daggone smart, right?
Yeah, it's efficient.
Efficient. I just wanted to say a word. This Mama Jamma recorded me doing it, right? And my boss sent me a text. It's like, you're not supposed to do that, right? I went off. I went slam off. I was like, look, y'all ain't got nothing better to do but to freaking videotape me. Y'all ain't got nothing better to do but to videotape me. I said, I'm in here working my butt off for you guys. I said, I go in there and they call me to go clean a bathroom up that ain't nobody seen. They had crusty poop turds all over the place. Like, I was trying to clean it and had to get a freaking spatula or something to try to get it off. Soap all over the floor. I mean, it is just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And ain't nobody see it. Ain't nobody call about it. It's been there all day. It got them in trouble because they wasn't doing their job. Because they're supposed to walk the mall, security. And so I went off. I'm like, look, why has I got these spots? Why do I got these spots? Y'all want to be taking pictures and video of me? That's good. I got some cameras if y'all need it because that's some pretty poor pixels. I got a couple extra iPhones if y'all need a better one, right? I said, so I'm going to tell you what. I told my boss this. Tell you what. I'm done. I'm going to go back to doing my job. I said, this is the thanks that I get for helping you guys out. I'm done. Next time security needs something done, they can figure it out themselves. I'm done. Text it to her, hit send. Guess what?
What?
Everybody's doing their job now. Everybody's doing their job now. People during the day, they doing their job. Security, they doing their job now. because I was bold enough to tell them exactly what it was. But the first part of that is what we learned here is I had integrity about my job. I never not go in there. I excel at my job. But I do it with dignity, with honor, with respect. Even when I told my boss that, I even told it in the text, this is not directed towards you. If it is, I'm sorry. No disrespect whatsoever. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm just letting you know. I come in and I got two guys in the bathrooms cleaning the bathrooms. Why is there two guys in the bathrooms cleaning them? Only need one. We got two people at the other end of the mall, so nothing's ever getting done. Y'all are starting to complain about my job because I'm trying to pick up everybody else's slack. I'm done. I said that way y'all can just go back to complaining about what I used to do the first year. I'm good with that. I'm totally good. I'm done. I'm done. Here's where everybody felt the impact on security part, right? I have a radio that I call in. I go at 1041 to let people know I'm there, right? Well, one night, here they come. One of the other security officers, they come up to me like, hey, DJ, you got your radio on? Radio? I was like, yeah, it's right there. Do you have it turned on? I was like, no, I don't turn it on. I was like, when I do floors, I just come in and do a 1041 and turn it off. We don't need to communicate. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing we need to talk about. You know, I'm here, you know? And they were like, oh, well, so X, Y, and Z really trying to get in touch with you. They really, really try. I was like, what, so they can record me not doing my job again? I don't have no time for that. They looked at me and they were like, oh, you didn't. I was like, yeah. So they went back and told my boss what I said, but I don't care. And I'm still there. I'm still working. I'm still doing my job. My job is better now. Like, if you could have been there, my floors on the hallways, they were just looking black because I wasn't able to do what I normally do, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, they looking good. Now they looking real good because I'm able to do what I normally do. I'm like, nah, I'm done. Y'all can have that. I don't play that stupid. I don't do drama. I don't.
Yeah, no.
There's no reason for me to do. I am 45 years old. At 20 years old, I didn't do no daggone drama. Well, no, I'm lying. I did. But at 45, you best believe I ain't got time for your drama. I really don't. There's no reason for me to have time for it. Even for you, at your age, there's probably reason for you not have any drama in your life.
Yeah, damn right.
I mean, what's the point?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I say that for us as men, we sometimes get in a rut and we get scared to stand up for what we are, right? Mm-hmm. But I want people our men to know that you can do that. I did it boldly. I let some people read the text message. They're like, you said what? You're going to get fired. Why would I get fired? Why would I get fired by telling you exactly what the truth is and being good at what I do? I'm not telling you I quit. I ain't telling you nothing bad. I'm just telling you I ain't all that other stuff you want me to do. I ain't got time for it. As men, that's how we need to be. But if we walk with integrity, you know, we talked about this, last year or maybe the year before last, we did that whole series of men. Yeah. I mean, we can go back to it. I mean, but it's that integrity that I have. It's that honesty that I have. Man, if they ask me anything, they know I'm going to tell it. They called me up one day. It's like, hey, did you run into the wall? I was like, I sure did.
Yeah. Yeah. That
to them is, for one, it's a little unnerving because nobody's really that honest. And two,
yeah, it throws people off.
It shows, my Lord.
It throws people off, and it's sad that it actually throws people off.
It does.
It's the same thing when everything went down at where I was at, and they pulled me into, or Mike pulled me into a room. He said, "Did you do this?" No, I didn't. Exactly what you're talking about. Like, did you go to this and did you actually do this? No.
Nope.
I didn't sit there and lie or BS, or I even told the dispatcher the next day when they tried to call me or whatever. So did you actually go in? No.
No.
That was it. So, same thing.
And it's weird in the sense that what makes it weird is that people do not expect that much honesty.
It's not received well. It's
It
almost
is-
like they want to dig deeper to find, oh, you're actually lying.
It's
I'm
like they
telling the damn truth.
right. It's like people want to find you lying when you're actually telling the truth.
It's so weird.
It's weird as crap. It's the
They don't
so you're not
take
the
you
only
at
one to
face
experience.
value.
It's like
They never do.
it's like, did you punch the hole in the wall? Yeah. And then they get this blank look on their face, like, okay, so what do I say next? Like if they do, right? They do.
Like they I don't know. I think
It's
that's
weird.
bad already enough out there in society that people have to almost embrace that or have to look for something like. Yeah, people lie all the time, and then
When you have people with integrity to come
you'll
up,
just be like, yeah, I
did
did
you?
that.
I mean, I've wrecked a company truck before. Did I do it? Yep, sure did.
Yep.
I mean, what more am I supposed to do? And I didn't even have a driver's license when I done it.
Damn.
Straight up. I mean, I was driving a company van. I was doing some floors for a guy, and I didn't even realize I hit the car. I was changing lanes, and when I changed lanes, I hit her. But I thought something fell out the back of the van. Fell over. We have, we have
You got all that. Yeah.
we have all them tools and everything. So, I didn't fishtail or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hit her, but I just kept going. Like it never fazed me, and I just thought it was something fell off. And I go, I drive, I do my job. Well, she took the license down and everything, the license plate, and they called my boss, and they were like, "Hey, this car was in an accident, blah blah blah," and he called me up, and I didn't have a driver's license. He didn't know I didn't have a driver's license.
Oh hell.
He said, "Did you drive?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Do you have a driver's license?" I said, "Nope." He's like, "Why didn't you tell me?" I was like, "Because I didn't want to not get the job."
I mean, that's
I did not want to get the job.
And you know what? And this is what I think a lot of people look at me and be like, and this may be why I feel like I'm 45 years old, and other people think that I'm way older than what I am. And I think it's because my mental state has aged with just conversations like this and moments like this. I think it's more, now that we get into that, I think that's definitely 100% what younger people need is you have to have that the older generation talking back, But what I was getting at was I've learned that it's less, excuse my language, but it's less bullshit to just say the truth. That's it. Just get it over with. Did you do this? Heck yeah, I did. And that's it. It's it. Whatever comes, whatever consequences, whatever. But I think it's less pain on my part than be like, no, I didn't. Well, then who did? Oh, I think it was Jerry. And then it just snowballs into this mountain. Now you get to think, oh, great. Now I pull. And it just
now you look like a
escalates.
douchebag.
And it escalates.
And you look like a douchebag in the end.
Exactly.
Now that you're honest, so like
it's so much easier.
Yeah, so like in my text to my boss, I was like, something they put the video and I sent a text. I'm not going to read it verbatim because I don't know who's watching, so I don't want to. That is my job, so I put in there. Yes, I did that. Yes, I am not ashamed of that. I'll keep doing it when I become efficiency. I've done this job for 3 years, and I found ways to be efficient. I will not be sorry for that. Work smarter, not harder. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be ashamed that I found a smart way to do my job.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're right. People don't know how to receive that.
It could be possibly. Well, the trades fire back, and you've been in the trades. So when you get lazy people, those guys are not afraid to tell you off and whatnot, and there's no gossip. It's just here right now. There could be a fight. It is what it is. The trades don't give a damn. Mm-mm. They don't, especially the older guys that are out there.
Go get me a sky hook.
Yeah.
You ain't, where's my sky hook, you piece of crap?
Yeah.
What? I've been looking for it all day long. Well, why ain't you got it to me yet? I needed that sky hook 10 minutes ago. You need to get that sky hook. You green. You're nothing but a green helper.
It just...
That's about what you hear on the job.
Mm-hmm. And there's no dumbness about that. So when you get these guys, and I see it all over TikTok and Facebook, and they're complaining about or making fun of the younger generation coming in trying to do this or do that, and they're all, woke or whatnot, and
Woke.
so they, right, and so they give him hell
Woke.
online, but it's not like that. Like in certain areas where it's not the trades and it's something else, or even in some service, like in your case there, it's all gossip and everything, and they've geared themselves to be prepared for the stupid stuff. People not being honest, not being like just telling it like it is, or telling straight up, and the work ethic being terrible. So then they get mad when they see that something's being done efficiently. When why is that being done efficiently? The past 3 guys that we've hired, it's been very slow at doing this, or whatever the case may be, and they've gotten geared to used to just this laziness that's in it.
And that's what the heck I felt for the longest time over at my job that I had. It's like they were so picky. Like it's like the better I did, the more picky they got. And it's crazy as crap. It's not now. Okay, it's not that way now, but it was for a while. It really was for a while. And I spoke up about that. Like, what y'all want from me?
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense. And what's also bullshit is if they go in there and you do it a certain way that they've written down that you wanted to do it like, and then they start changing that.
Yes.
Okay, tell me what you need me to do. Like going into this job here shortly. All right, technician, what do you need me to do? Roger that. I got it. I know how to do that.
Yep.
Cool deal. I go do it, and them say, well, you could have. All right, next time, show me what to do. They show you. Okay, and then you go do that. Then I go do it exactly how they showed me. Then come back and say, well, you could have. You were the one who showed me.
Yep.
You need to stop that shit.
Oh yeah,
no.
that's and see that's where that experience we were talking about earlier comes from for me too. Like to be able to take it to the job that I have now. Like, well, hold on, no.
Exactly.
Y'all said do it just like this. That's what I put it in the text too. I was like, look, fine, I'll go back to doing it by the book. Y'all gonna have to give me more hours because I ain't gonna be able to do it by the book. And it's gonna take way too long. Y'all gonna be complaining about it's taking too long.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean,
yeah.
And so it goes back to because we haven't had no authority growing up. And what I mean by the men been absent from homes, nobody respects authority.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what it is. Absentee fathers play a big role into gang violence, into
not even how to conduct yourself.
The morals, standards. I was listening, man. I want to play this TikTok so bad.
Go ahead.
I think I'm going to. I hope I can play it. Y'all can hear it. I think y'all can. So y'all just going to be able to hear it. How about that? But, oh, my Lord. I gotta get here we go. Hold up.
Well, how y'all doing? I know that it has been very rainy around here. I wish it would. Monday, tomorrow is going to be 60. So the day I start, it's going to be 60 degrees. I'm like, heck yeah, let's do something outside. let's do something outside, and then the next day, just go back inside.
Hey, that's one thing I love about my job, though. My job is 24/7 inside.
Oh yeah.
Over at the mall.
Yeah,
I love it because of that. All the time. All right.
Especially when you go from like the work experience you've had being out in the elements.
That's exactly.
Then you're very thankful just being, and that was some of the reason why I'd want to get into maintenance too. It's just because you're indoors at that point. Maybe not all the time.
That's why when I tell people I love my job, they're like, you don't really love your job. I'm like, no, I really love my job. Like y'all don't understand.
Yeah,
y'all have not been in king size holes as big as Cadillacs, trying to feed 2 parallel runs of 4-inch up under a freaking sewer duct because 4 foot hits right on the top of the duct.
Yep.
4 foot is right there. Like that's 4 foot. Like you can't go 3'8". You got to go 4 foot. So it's encased in concrete, but you can't encase it in concrete because it's sand and all kinds of other stuff. Because it's pointless to encase it in concrete. So now you got to dig a hole as big as a freaking Cadillac that you can sit it in, so you can run it down, put you some. Anyways,
That sounds like a pain. When was that?
New Orleans, right after Katrina. But that's what I'm saying. I love my job because I don't got to do that no more. I don't got to do that no more. Thank God. Hallelujah. Someone play this. All right.
All right.
I think she on point. But tell me, do you agree?
We have adopted some wrong standards. We are judging our men many times by the wrong value system. We are using his children sometimes against him. We have been told that the only benefit that a black man provides in a home is money, and if he does not give us money to take care of those kinds of financial provisions, that he has no value. And what my research has proven to me is that a black man, any man in any home, provides much more than financial support. The man provides guidance, instruction, discipline for the children, which we sorely need in our black homes. He provides gratification, fulfillment, protection. I mean, there's so many other values, and these values are the ones that are missing in our children today, which is why many black children are in the street, out of control themselves, disrespectful, don't have any regard for anyone. And most of us are scared of them, and everybody else is, because nobody has a way into them to try to gain any control over them. So I maintain that a return to traditional family values, certain clearly defined gender responsibilities for black men and black women in running a home and a relationship will help us to produce a better child. And if we produce a better child, certainly we'll have a better future and a better nation. Unfortunately, as I say, since money has been used as the measure, many times if a black man does not have money to give us, we won't even let him see his children. We won't let him spend any time with it because he does not give us whatever the child support is. And I'm not saying that we don't need money to raise a child, but I try to explain to black women that raising a child consists of much more than feeding, clothing, and sheltering it. That's maintaining one. To raise one, you need a return of the parental coalition of the father and the mother to put the proper values into the child. Many of our boys, when we raise them alone, they grow up with the female emotional mechanism. They are suspicious, they are doubtful, they're disrespectful of womanhood, they are bitchy, they can't make a decision. And many of our girls who grow up in a home where there's no man present, they go out into the world and try to mate. They don't have any idea how to live with a man day to day, how to prepare a proper meal, how to be a mother, how to just be in love in the home. Most of what our people and our children especially have learned about how you have a relationship, they learned off of television. And television doesn't represent our needs. And so a lot of the confusion has come, from outside agencies that we have not recognized how detrimental it has been to us as a people.
One woman filled with wisdom, right then and there.
Yeah,
you want to ask what the problem is? She just said it all. We didn't have to say nothing. That was a mic drop.
Ain't got
to say nothing.
And that's exactly why I say that's a beautiful African queen right there. She put it out there like number
filled
one
with wisdom, right there.
Wisdom, like
done,
because it goes on to what you were saying.
Exactly.
Everything she said, missing. Yeah. No morals, no values, no this, no. And where does it come from? Men.
Yep.
It comes from men. In our society, and that's why we have that's why we do what we do, is because we live in a society that has tried to keep dumbing men down and try to get them to be replaced. And we're seeing a society where, dude, in London, I want to say London. Matter of fact, I ain't even going to say. There was a place, because I don't remember the place, but there was a place, and there were these people protesting, right? And this is how stupid we are, right? We're just so freaking stupid, all right? Okay, so they're at a protest. This person says that they are a trans man. Okay? So that means they are a biological woman, right? It's a biological woman, born a female, transitioning into a man, okay? Who has a girlfriend who is a trans woman. So born biologically a male, transitioning into a female. So they cancel each other out. They're still having a heterosexual relationship.
Oh, my God.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, retarded.
You have a female trying to play a man.
We got a man trying to play a woman.
And they like each other. Funny how that works.
It's so crazy.
Funny how that works, right, Tommy?
Yeah.
Funny how that works. And I'm just simply DJ. I'm just a simple old man. I ain't nobody special. Got some Abe Lincoln going on.
Abe Lincoln. There it is.
What the flip, dude?
I
We're teaching people to be opposite genders, but then to go fall in love with the genders that they're supposed to fall in love with.
so stupid. Yeah. Well, you know,
And it's because of the absence of the man. She put it there, right there. It's because of
Well-
the absence of the man. And traditional family values, like she said.
so yeah, you have to instill the values, because I would even argue and go even further that if we have a family grow up and they do have the mother and father both present, male and female, even if you have those, like in some people, like in some people in my life, DJ, that you also know, right? Wink, wink. But in those situations, if the man is not bringing those values or bringing that learning curve, just all that stuff to it. So what I'm saying is, not just a simple man being in the home is going to fix all these problems.
No,
So,
no.
You got everything else that's got to go with it too.
Yes.
So what we're saying is not just, you got to tough it out and be with the baby mama or whatnot for 18 years. That's not the case. You still got to bring everything else with it.
You do.
So we're not just saying, hey, we just need. It doesn't mean women that are single mothers need to just go out and get a guy.
No.
You know,
No, but
Yeah.
the thing, but what we,
the
but if
values
we,
that come with it.
but if we, let's say, in 2 years,
Okay.
everybody just starts living to the traditional values, male roles, female roles, gender roles. I'm not talking about careers and jobs and stuff like
No,
that. I'm
no.
not talking about none of that.
Yeah.
I think a woman should be as far as excelling as she wants to in the areas that she wants to excel at. If she wants to be the greatest, I don't know, football player, well, go ahead and try, but I don't know how far you'll get.
Yeah.
But I think you should have the opportunity to try to be a football player. Just because. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I do think in the household there should be those traditional family values.
Yeah.
And let's say everybody started 2 years from now, right?
Mm-hmm.
In 30 years, we would see a change in our lives, because those babies being born 2 years from now will have grown up to be 20, 25, and they will then have kids, and they will instill that. So all of the nasty will start to kind of shed its weight with all the generations that come.
And yeah, but I'm going a little bit deeper, because I think that, like, in some people that we know, right, wink, wink, that if they don't stand firm and stand masculine and actually bring these things that we're talking about to the table, just having them present is not going to help the situation. It's
No.
not going to change the situation.
No. I
That's
have
not-
talked to single women, and I mean, when I've talked to single women, I've asked them this question, right? Does a man just being present in the home make him a father? Now, I'm not talking about being a dad. There's a difference to me. A dad is somebody who's donated his excrement to have you born.
Okay.
Anyways, however you want to look at it. Some people. Anyways.
It depends on how involved, I think.
Right. Anyways. That's not the point. The point of it is if I was living with a wife, and I was living with a wife and a kid, and all I did was sit in a recliner,
Yeah.
am I a good dad? Could I be considered a good dad? A good father?
Well, I'm not even going to. What did they say?
No. Just because a male is present in the home does not make them a father or a dad. Okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
That's what I figured. Yeah.
To make a father or a dad, you need to be able to be in that person's life. So what? And this goes back to the females. Females, get off your bitterness and let the male have an influence. If y'all had a baby, let that male have an influence in that kid's life. Anyway, we ain't gonna talk about my story, but
I think that's like growing, and and it could be the algorithm messing me up, but that's a lot of what I see out there, is that there's a lot of men that I think do try, but they get shut down by the female. So then the man turns bitter and is like, all right, well, F all you people. So that's
Which-
why I say it goes both ways.
right.
I think
But then who suffers in that situation?
the child.
The child.
Exactly.
Because of two selfish idiots.
Yeah, and that's why I say I think I've seen
But
a lot
then-
of people attempt, but then they get burned, or the woman is doing this or that or whatnot, and then I think it's two ways, man.
Ooh. I got a great Bible verse. All right, I can't
remember.
I'll get it here in just a second. But okay, so that's a good thing that you're saying that, because it brings me to this point, right? So, as men and as head of the house and as people that are supposed to be an influence, right? I try to tell people that I can't make somebody do something.
Yeah.
Right? I cannot make a child do exactly what I want it to do. Okay? I can try to guide it, to teach it, to give it lessons, but I cannot make it be me. Okay? What does that mean? This is what that means. Eventually, everything that I've poured into that child at some point in time, they will start making individual choices on their own. At that point in time, there's not much I can do about it. So you have a lot of believers that'll say, well, your household needs to be in order, right? And all of these things, especially because I'm a pastor, so I get a lot of flack about my kids, and I get a lot of flack about, when my house has problems and stuff like that. They'll be like, well, how can you really be a pastor if your household is not in order and this, that, and the other? And I try to tell people, look, I cannot change anybody, period. I cannot make a person believe in Christ. I cannot make a person change their life. I cannot do that. There's no way. There's no way. But I can influence that, right?
Yeah.
And I come to that because we as men are not able to influence our kids. I don't want to outright take over any area. I just want to have an influence on my kids, because there's a value in that, right? Mm-hmm. There's a value in that, because we get morals. You get to understand authority. You know why we have kids running around here trying to run from the cops? Because they never had a dad beat their butt. They never had that. And so, for me, when we have this area in life where we see a lot of gaps, it's because people will put the blame on a man and say it's his fault, right? Mm-hmm. They just straight up they'll say it's his fault all day long, right? Relationship fails, whose fault is it? The man's. If the man's not in the child's life, whose fault is that? The man's. But that's not always the case.
Yeah.
That's not always the case. Like, we were just sitting there saying that the mom and the dad have a problem and the child suffers, right? Mom says, screw you. The dad says, screw you. The child suffers. Because we don't have the ability to talk about some stuff, to look for the betterment of the kid. Why don't we have that? Why don't we have that? Because nobody showed nobody how to do that. Mm. Nobody showed anybody how to co-parent with somebody else. I have nieces and nephews, and I have these people that have kids they have kids. Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm going to be a granddaddy. Everybody, I'm truly Abe Lincoln.
He is. Yep, that beard, it dates back to 73, and then further past that.
And I'm happy to be a granddaddy. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad to be a granddaddy. My youngest daughter, Amaya, she's going to have a baby, and I'm going to be a granddaddy. And I'm happy. I'm glad to be a granddaddy. I hope I can instill something in that child and pass on some information and pass on some things. But I go back to this. So they'll say that the man is at fault. So we have a child. We can't make it work. It's the man's fault. So the child suffers. They never take and flip it around and say, well, what did the woman do? Mm-hmm. What did she do? Because they'll point the blame at the man and they'll say, it's your fault. How is it my fault? Because anything that I do, it'll become illegal at some point in time. I can't make my ex-wife or my ex-baby mama see my viewpoint unless I take her, chain her up, put her in a closet. I think that's kidnapping.
Yeah.
And then I'll just never see my kid at all. You see what I'm saying? And we don't have enough women stepping up to say, y'all need to start taking accountability for that. Like, y'all need to start taking accountability for that.
For their own women.
Y'all don't need to use a kid for a pawn just because you bitter at a man. You don't. There's no reason to. You're destroying that kid's life. I've went through that.
Mm-hmm.
I literally have went through that. And it sucks. Because, once again, I'm at fault throughout my whole life. You can ask my kids. I'm still the one at fault. I'm still the one at fault. I'm still the one that didn't do enough. Even though I was ridiculed, there's a ton of stuff that I went through trying to see my kids. What am I supposed to do? And that's what I tell people. Y'all blame the man, but what is he supposed to do? Because I don't mind being blamed. Like we talked about, I have integrity. It's my fault. All right, my fault. I take it. Now, how do I fix it? How do you fix it? And just like that, nobody ever has an answer. They just want somebody to blame.
Yeah.
They just want somebody to blame.
So essentially, there's no accountability for women.
Right. And I'm seeing more and more women actually saying that now. That there is no accountability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Matter of fact, I was getting ready to play another.
It's sad that it's like that.
Yeah.
Very sad.
It is very, very, very sad. Because at the end of the day, like for me, I don't want to be anybody. Maybe this is it.
So there's this new statistic that just came out that said 93% of families will follow a father who followed Christ first. Only 17% of families will follow a mother who followed Christ first. And only 3.5% of families are going to follow their children who find Christ first. No wonder the enemy is after men. No wonder the enemy is after masculinity and wants to make everyone think that there's something that they're not. No wonder the enemy doesn't want us to have correct gender roles. No wonder the enemy is attacking fathers. No wonder the enemy wants fatherless homes, because he knows that the second that father starts following Christ, 93% of those families are going to follow Christ too. As a woman, as a wife, as a mother, this infuriates me. It literally burns in my soul. The fact that the enemy thinks he's about to just come in to my house and attack my man? No, not today, Satan. Literally. Period. This has given me this statistic, just seeing it like on paper, seeing that has given me a new grace for my husband. It's allowed me to see that the man is and will be attacked in a way different way that women will. And so what it's done is it's allowed me to have a bigger grace and more grace for my husband, knowing that he's going through all of the things that he's going through and that the enemy is after him, because he does have that influence in our family. And he does have that amount of impact when it comes to his family following Christ. Talk to me about waking up every morning knowing your entire family is depending on you to not only provide but to lead spiritually, to go into spiritual warfare every single day and know that the enemy's coming after you, because if he can get you, he's going to take your whole family. He's going to try, right? Talk about pressure. That's pressure, baby. That's pressure. I can't even imagine knowing that. I mean, yes, I know that as a mother and as a wife, it is my responsibility to intercede for my family, and I will do that until the day that I die. And God help the person who tries to mess with my family. God help the person who tries to mess with my husband, because I'm going to tell you something, my kids, I'm going to tell you something. I know who I'm covered by, and I know the God that I serve, and I know that he's taken down entire nations and generations because of sin. And I know that my prayers and my intercession does not go unheard, and that my family will be and is covered by the blood of Jesus Christ. So I just want every wife, every mother out there to get up every morning and start interceding for your husband because he's under attack. He is under attack, and he needs that from you. And you will find a new grace in knowing and in interceding. So there's this new
93% of men in the home that follow Christ, the home follows. What a freaking impact. What does that say? What does that say about the importance of a man?
Highly.
93%. If he's following Christ in the home, everybody else is following Christ. Powerful. Got another video for you. I'll be watching this stuff.
Yeah.
Saving it for our...
For a good moment.
Yes.
A good moment.
Yeah.
Listen to this.
Chosen ones, let's talk about why they tend to
That's not one.
exclude.
Women, that there are 5 stupid questions that we keep asking guys.
Hi, babies. This post is for the men. So if you're a man, continue.
Okay, so we're about to have a very weighty conversation. So if you're sensitive or easily triggered, I suggest you keep scrolling.
No, that's not it either. Where is that chick? She is like so super duper awesome. Man. It's probably over here in my likes. What you got for next week, Tommy?
What do you mean?
What's got going on next week?
Well, I haven't planned that far.
You haven't planned that far?
Are you talking about weekend or during the week?
I'm just, instead of having dead space.
Yeah, of course. I knew what you were saying. I knew.
And we're just having conversations. Did you hear how dumb Joe Biden is?
Oh, he's super retarded.
He is super duper retarded.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't help the guy. He's like 103 years old, so you
right?
just can't help him, you know. If I'm 103 years old, I don't know if I'd be. He might be. I don't know. He might outperform me. I don't know.
I mean,
you never know.
He is definitely something else.
He's
100%.
Yep. The pawn in the whole plan. So to speak. But gonna start and see how it goes. First week, back to the grind. Definitely gonna need a couple of prayers before we leave on being able to be resituated and get that routine down again, and for an ease of transition into that routine. Not an ease of work, not an ease in any of that. It could be as difficult as it needs to be, but just an ease into more of the routine of getting back to things. That's more a lot of my anxiety resides upon just getting back into the routine. I don't know why that bothers me so much, because once it starts going, it'll keep going.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Once you do get back in that routine, you'll be okay.
Yeah, and that's I don't know why that bothers me the most, is just the getting into the groove of things, but yeah.
So there's this new statistic that just...
Is that it?
Nope, I guess not.
Now we head to the Washington swamp where President Biden once again is having a very hard time, mired in scandal and plagued by his own cognitive decline.
This is what
Joe
we do.
Biden decided to take a big trip
this.
away from the Oval Office. Today he actually managed to travel a whole 10 miles, crossing the mighty Potomac River into Northern Virginia. Wow, what a long trip. Unfortunately, the purpose for this outing was not exactly clear, and his bizarre, disjointed speech was almost impossible for anybody to comprehend. We've got the videotape. You decide.
When I was seeking the nomination, I said, "Take a seat, everybody," and there wasn't a single chair in the place. They said, "That Biden really is stupid. He doesn't know it." Where's Doug?
There was no Doug there. He was referring to Don.
He's around here somewhere. I've been saying this during the last campaign, the off-year campaign. Doug knows it. Look, here's the deal. You know, they view the world from Park Avenue. I view it where the wealthy, in fact, you get, if everything works well for them, all is going to trickle down and help the rest of us.
Facebook,
well, I come from a background where that never worked. Talk about being deprived of your pride. Look at your child. Your child. If you don't think we have a climate crisis, come travel with me around the country. No, I'm not joking. Go back. Go back. And here we are. Your president added more to the debt in 4 years than my president. I misspoke. 25% of our country's entire debt.
Not very good. Anyway, I think we all know.
I wonder if we can cash in on that trip, Tommy.
Yeah, we might be able to. It's sad that it's a joke, as bad as it is.
And we're not just making fun. Everybody is. I mean,
that's what's sad. And you know,
and we told everybody. I mean,
you know, it's honestly a disrespect to the country.
It is totally.
It's an absolute shit-faced, disrespectful.
It really is
thing.
It really, really is.
All around to have.
It really is
just a mockery, especially on the one just like your flag right there. Stand for the flag, kneel at the cross.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of guys that have died from the beginning of the revolution all the way through World War I, II, Cold War, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm, Iraqi freedom, all that.
All of them.
For just to have this dumbass sit there and now be made fun of nationwide, countrywide, you know, continental-wide. Absolutely sad.
It very
you might as well just go to what's the place with all the D-Day? What is that Memorial Park?
Pearl Harbor.
No, for D-Day, where all the white crosses are. What is the name of that memorial?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Well, whatever the name of that, you might as well go to there, go to the Vietnam War, and just take a piss because that's exactly what that is.
I mean. I'm not, like I said, I'm just, we said this before the election. This is what this man was going to be.
Exactly. Yeah, I know.
mean, here also, too, man, I don't care what anybody says. We've had all these people all of a sudden dying.
You're talking?
Everybody that has been dying all of a sudden. Like DeMar Hamlin. I mean, he's not dead, but.
Oh, you talk about vaccine.
The jibbity jab.
Yep.
How is it now? We said this. We said this before it all happened. We got video evidence of this.
Yeah.
I said, watch. In a few years, what happens when people start just dropping off? Because it takes a while to get to your body.
Yep.
What are they doing? Dropping off.
Exactly.
And then Project Veritas, let me tell you this. Project Veritas sat down with a Pfizer.
Is this the chip?
No, this is not the chip. This is something totally different, dude. This is even more sinister, yo. It's so freaking sinister. So an executive. So he knows what he's talking about. This is not some like low level mailroom guy. This is actually a guy who sits in the boardroom, who sits with the guy. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
He's the one giving the ideas. Pfizer. This guy come out and this is what he said. He said this is what Pfizer wanted to do. They wanted to take COVID-19, right? Mutate it, right? Create a vaccine for that mutation. Then let the mutation out on the public and then give people the vaccine. And they called it directive evolution.
How do we know that wasn't done for COVID in general?
I don't know, but I'm just saying when we said all that stuff about the vaccines and everything else and all that, I mean, I still rest assured that I don't have to worry about none of that stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, I will tell people.
Well, they said we were researching somewhere that with the vaccine, people clot more now.
That's exactly right.
Or maybe it was me and you last week or the week before. We were talking about that as clotting. People were clotting a lot more.
A lot.
In their blood.
And that's why they're passing out and dying. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We can sit here and argue until, I mean, not you and I, but people out there in the comments or whatever, we can argue until we're blue in the face about, oh, well, it's not this or it's not that. It is what it is, man. All of a sudden, out of the blue, 2 years after COVID and after all these people has taken all these jibbity jabs, people start dying out of just sudden adult death syndrome is what they call it, SADS. Sudden adult death syndrome. Really? I'm 45 years old and I'm just now hearing of sudden death adult syndrome. I mean, come on, man. And just like I said, that Pfizer executive said they want to take COVID-19, mutate it, make a vaccine for that mutation, and then put that mutation out on the population. It's called directive evolution. It's called depopulating the earth. I mean, it just is what it is. That's what they want to do. They openly say that's what they want to do. And yet we don't have nobody standing up going, yeah, let's not do that. Like, no. Like, why didn't somebody punch him in the face and say that's a horrible idea? But you understand what I was like? Somebody should have smacked him.
Well, it's
just like we were talking earlier. If he was an electrician on the job, he would have gotten some smack talk. Be like, "Nah, dude, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You're dumb. Nah, you sit down.
Yeah.
You're the engineer on the job. We don't need you here to hear your mouth at all. Just go sit down and give us the plans." But that's where I was going with. I was going to say earlier when we were talking about that camaraderie of people on the job with the framers and the HVAC guys and all that. There's a camaraderie there, and so there is that. Oh, you're a green person on the job. We're going to give you heck. We're going to make your life a miserable heck for 6 weeks. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But if you make it past the 6 weeks, you're cool. We ain't nobody ever going to mess with you while you're on the job with us. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't have that anymore. Everybody's too sensitive. Everybody's too sensitive. I had a friend of mine. He went to work for a sawmill, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he was working security over here at the mall. He was like, "Yeah, I'm going to go work for a sawmill." I said, "Dude, you're not going to make it." He said, yeah. He said, "I'll be working by myself. And it's just be great." I said, "You ain't going to make it." He's like, "Well, why don't you think I can do it?" I said, "'Cause you're soft." He said, "What you mean?" I said, "Dude," it's a different environment when you get people working around with their hands and get people being a laborer. It's a different environment. All right. I said, you're the bottom. You're skinny. You don't look like you can. You're probably going to get picked on the whole time. He was like, "Really? Nah, that ain't gonna happen." I was like, "Yeah, well." 3 weeks later, he quit. He come back. He didn't tell me. Somebody else told me why, and it was the exact reason why I said,
"Really?"
Yes. He never come and told me that's why he quit.
I felt ashamed.
Yes.
That he just got
schooled. Like I told you. Like I literally told you what's going to happen. No, you don't know what you're talking about. I'll be good. Okay. I know these people. They will make you cry and laugh about you crying, and hopefully it makes you cry more.
You just got to throw it back and just keep moving, man.
Yes, that's all you got to do is just throw it back at them. Even if it sounds stupid.
Yeah.
I had a guy. We was in Raleigh, and he was the young guy. He was my boss's son, so he wasn't more than 14 or 15 years old. I will never forget it. But we gave that little dude heck because he stood up for himself. And I cannot remember the curse word that he used, but it was like, and this is just me repeating what the curse word was. Like he was like, you dick shitty or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Is like what? Like, but he stuck up for himself. You know what I'm saying? And to this day, I don't remember what it was, but it was something so stupid. but you couldn't hate on him because he was at least trying.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he was at least trying to give it back. It's the craziest word.
Yeah, I mean, I've given names.
And some people are not supposed to cuss. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we get. I don't know. I gave the apprentices names.
Well, he was just being mean. I mean, somebody was picking on him,
yeah.
and so he's, like some people say "f you" or this,
yeah.
that. So it was his way of cussing, but he's not a cusser, so.
That's funny.
It was hilarious, and we gave him crap for about 6 weeks because we'd always see him, and we'd tell him I cannot remember. It was something so stupid like what I just said, like Dick. I don't know. It was dumb. It was just stupid.
You remember the time when I was working for you? Not really for you, but under you. Through, and we were sitting there. I remember you coming into that daggum room, and you're like, "You see Isaiah here? He trimmed out this whole room. You've only done 2 receptacles. Fix that." You walked away, and I'm like, "Oh, right, I gotta go faster, right?"
Yeah.
You're trimming out the room. Of course, that's when I was like brand new. And then we go. You're like, "Run this wire, go!" And I'm in the attic. And I start drilling through the freaking...
Yeah, I remember.
I drilled right through something. Was it the trusses?
Yes,
or
he was drilled right through the trusses.
He popped his head in.
It was in the attic.
He goes, his eyes got about this big. Like, his eyes. He goes, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, just drilling holes, ran it through there." He goes, "It was through trusses. You weakened the structural integrity of the building or something." Man, you went off, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, "What are you talking about?" That was at that church.
Yeah.
That was right there near Towers.
Yep.
There's that one dude that was there, some black guy. I don't know if he was like a...
Jay.
Was he like a temp guy?
He worked for me.
Okay.
Like
well, how did that work? So you were with Inquest, right?
Yeah.
But then, are they still around?
Something like that. But just give me just a second. Everybody on the radio, we love you. Thank you for tuning in. We're getting ready to lose our sound there because, hey, we forgot to charge up our interface, but that's all right. Everybody on the radio, I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. You have a blessed and wonderful week. And until we hear you guys next week or see you guys next week, talk to you soon. Will you go?
Will you go?
Will you go? Tom, you want to say anything to the people on the radio?
See you later, guys. Have a good week.
There you go. You heard what Tommy Gunn said. Have a good week. Peace. All right. So, our interface is over here blinking.
Oh, it's about to die.
Yeah, the battery's about ready to die.
Nice. So his name was Jay. Is he still around?
Yeah, he's around. Sure. He's a friend of mine.
Okay.
Yeah, Jay is a good friend of mine. He has been a friend of mine since I can remember, right? I used to bully him in school. I used to put him in trash cans and lockers.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. But that's another story for another time. Because I did become the bully in high school. Like, I was tired of being picked on. So, I remember my 7th grade year, my 8th grade year. Maybe it was my 8th grade year. Maybe. Yeah, I think it was my 8th grade year, right? And these 5 guys were going to fight me, and they had baseball bats. And I remember I had a 30-30 Winchester lever action that held 9 bullets. It seemed like I was going to have a better alternative outcome.
Yeah.
And so I went to the porch, and they were running up the driveway. I took my Winchester 30-30. I lifted it up, said, boom, boom. Now I was shooting at the ground and around them.
Yeah.
Purposefully, right? Yeah, nobody ever really messed with me after that. I mean, nobody didn't get in many fights. People never screwed me over on money. You know what I'm saying? I kind of set my standard there, you know? It's like, oh, he's a crazy nut job.
Mm-hmm.
Don't mess with him.
Exactly.
He will shoot. She will shoot you. Like they can tell people that. I had never seen 5 guys run down the street so fast. And they did tell people. They went back to school and they was like, he's crazy. He pulled a gun and shot us. Which was bad and good at the same time. It was bad for everybody around me because then I became the bully because now I had the power. because nobody was going to mess with me.
Yeah.
What you going to do? Punch me? Okay. Well, that was not a good thing. I used to carry a little 25 in my pocket at all times.
25.
Yeah.
What's that?
A pew pew?
Was it like one of those baby?
Yeah, it was. It held 5 in the clip, and then it fit right here in this little pocket.
Yep.
Right here, just fit just so perfect. Just what it was.
Damn.
I'm proud of that. I'm not saying I'm proud of that. I'm just saying that's just what happened.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, this is getting back to Jay.
Yeah. So from that, I became the bully, and then I used to bully him. I used to bully a lot of people. But then there was a time where he proved that he was not punk material. He was actually friend material. I had a Nissan Pulsar, and I had a nice system in it, right? And somebody came in and stole it. And I thought it was him. I blamed him. Up and down, I blamed him. And I finally, it was like 2 years after it was done, I found out it was who it was. And so I went back to Jay and apologized and mended the relationship. And yes, everybody, if you are in a relationship, a friendship, you should go apologize to people. It just shows that you care. I mean, it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just shows that you care about the person. And it doesn't hurt you. You know, it doesn't make you look weaker. Because I have a friend right now who is loyal to me. Like, if I called him and really, okay, so here's the thing. So I mended the relationship 2 years afterwards. So from that, he became like my right-hand man. Like, when you saw me, you saw Jay. Like, I mean that in all senses. Like, when I used to run drugs and all that. When you saw me, you saw Jay. When I had to go handle business, guess who was right beside me? Jay. Like, when y'all hear me talk about stuff, I wasn't just by myself. I wasn't like super gangster with my big G on my chest and I was, being super gangster. No. I had people around me, but they were loyal. Like, to this day, Jay is loyal. Like, if I called him and needed him, he'd be right there without a shadow of a doubt. Man, he's in his own world right now doing his thing. But that's how much loyalty we had for one another. He knew that whatever I had, he had. And whatever he had, I had. Like, there was no questions about it. Like, and if he come back and said, hey, X, Y, and Z needed to be handled, well, then X, Y, and Z got handled. No questions asked.
So he was helping out on that job, right? From that, yeah.
Yep. So that's why I had the opportunity. Guess who I'm going to call? I'm going to call Jay. He learned electrical work from me. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I remember him talking about because I went and used one of the bathrooms there and just destroyed it. And he's like, man, that old man went in there rolling. He said something like, that dude done rolled in there and croaked out or something like that. I remember we were eating Taco Bell out at the truck.
Yeah.
Vaguely. We were sitting out there. I don't know if you were around or if it was just me and Jay. They were sitting there. But I remember that.
Yeah. Jay's good people.
Yeah.
He has his own things that he's hung up on, but he's good people. And then that's all you really can ask from somebody.
Yeah.
It's just, are you a good person? And he's a good person. And that's okay with me. And I'm going to leave everybody with this because it's about an hour and 15.
Gotcha.
And, we was talking about Joe Biden and all this stuff a little earlier. Men, be watching the skies. And if you know what I know, and if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I know, and you know what I'm talking about. Start watching the skies. Start watching the skies. We just sent Ukraine 31 M1 tanks. Before the war started with Ukraine, Russia said, if you send them M1 tanks, that is the red line in the sand, and we will retaliate in such a way you do not like. And I believe Russia will do it. Start looking in the skies.
Yeah.
Their supersonic submarine, as soon as they caught wind, we were sending them M1s. It left their Baltic Sea and started coming down the Atlantic Ocean. So, let that be a sign, or let it be nothing at all. Just start looking in the skies. Just start looking in the skies. Because you never want to have a Red Dawn experience that you didn't notice. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Where'd they come from? The skies. They parachuted in. Just saying. Like I said, I know people don't really understand the significance, but the Department of Justice can now tell you that we have the Chinese police with Chinese police stations in this country. Why? Is my only question. Why? Just be aware. Things are coming. I could get into more, but we're not going to. Got anything for the people out there, Tommy?
No.
Well, we talk about the vaccine. Everybody be extra.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. I love you. We love you here at the Movement Ministries. Thank you for tuning in to the Watchmen Experience. Like, share, follow. Go get the app. Listen to the radio. Do all those other things so we can continue to grow. Tommy, we went TikTok live the other day because we got up to 1,500 followers on TikTok. And we had 1,600 views on TikTok, our first one.
Nice.
Yeah. And I've been going live since then. So I haven't stayed on live like that, but it's getting positive stuff, you know. But that's also brand new. You know what happens with brand new.
Yeah.
It looks so pretty until it doesn't look pretty no more.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm going to leave you with this inspirational video. Y'all not going to be able to see it, but y'all will be able to hear it. So open up your ears. Listen. This is for you guys.
Can't understand. They won't understand. A lot of they don't understand. They can't understand. They won't understand. A lot of people misunderstand you. They're from the outside looking in, and they think you should do better at what you're doing. They think that you should have went a different way about it, or you should take different approaches about it. And little do they know that you're doing the best that you can do. Like a lot of people are thinking that you're playing and that you can do better, and little do they know that you're giving it all that you got. Little do they know about the times that you almost thought about taking your life. Little do they know all of the times that you thought about giving up. Little do they know about all the times when you thought you were not worthy and you wouldn't make it. But look at you. You made it. You're doing it. You are walking into your greatness. People are always going to judge. People are always going to say what they shoulda, woulda, or coulda did in your situation. But guess what? Guess what? They're not you. They can't do what you do. They can't be who you're being. So that's why it's not them being it. And what you're being is greatness. You made it. You're walking it out. You doing what you're supposed to do. Everybody can't feel or walk in your shoes. So what they counted you out? They can't count. So what they looking down? You going up. So what they're not impressed? You're very impressive. At the end of the day, God's impressed with you. God is impressed with you. They don't understand how hard it is to keep a smile on your face. They don't understand how hard it is to keep running your race. They don't understand how hard it is to come from nothing and still strive to be great. They don't understand how hard it is to raise those kids, to pay those bills after bills, to run that business or to stay on that job all by yourself. They don't understand. They can't understand. And they will never understand. But GPS to their purpose-driven life. Keep showing them the way. I said you are someone else's GPS to their purpose-driven life. So keep showing them the way. Quote T.T. Turner. Don't stop now. You can't stop now because there are people depending on you. Do you know how many kids you have raised? How many souls you have saved? How many trails you have blazed by just keep showing them your way? So what if they don't understand? They can't understand. So you need to understand that by you just standing, that is great.